Okay, go ahead, Louise.
Okay. So welcome everybody to our Essential Oils for Pain workshop. I just want to let you know a little bit of information before we get started. And I'm so happy to say that I am part of Heart Center Foundation, which is an organization, a foundation that myself and two other women started this nonprofit organization for people that are dealing with grief and loss. This is a time where so many of us are dealing with these issues that come as a result of the loss of the way things were. We may have lost loved ones. We may have lost the way that we do our work. We may have lost many different ways of being in the world. Being able to visit friends. There's so many changes. So we really felt the need to get workshops and support and some resources together for people who are going through this experience, as we all are. It's a pandemic, it's international. And as you'll notice in the people who have registered, we're from all over the world. So I am really very, very happy to be part of Heart Center Foundation. And I would really encourage that if you go onto the website and Google Heart Center Foundation, same people that you registered for this workshop with, you will find out different workshops that are coming down the pipe, okay? And there's going to be more resources coming out as we grow, and things are starting to really happen. So we're very, very happy to be able to present this for you. And I want to let you know that if you have any questions, I would ask you to put the questions in the chat box. If it's something in a bigger picture that you want to know about essential oils in particular, or you have a quick question that we can answer right away if you put your hand up. But if it's a more complex question, if you could put it in the chat box. And what we'll do is, if we run out of time, I can go back with Sophia and we'll look at all the questions, and I want to make sure that all the questions are answered. So what we would do is respond to you via email. Okay, so leave your email, and which I think we might have already, but if you do it again, that would be quicker for us. And
have the email, but for those of you that if you're joining with a different name that's not with the same email address that you registered, then it will be helpful for us to know.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Great. Excellent. Thanks, Sophia. Okay. So without further ado, so my desired accomplishments with this workshop is to share with you not just the essential oils that happen to be very useful in all different kinds of pain. And we're going to talk about that in a while. But what I want to definitely have the message across, that pain is not isolated to your shoulder or to your knee, and we are going to talk about physical pain. But I want you to know that we're also going to talk about emotional and spiritual pain. And we're going to talk about how this all connects in a circle. And with essential oils, how that really helps in a complementary way, other than, gee, we try so many other topicals and different things that, yeah, they help, but they're not holistic. Essential oils, I find, are quite holistic, and they've really helped me. And I just love what they've done for me. So that's why I love to share with you. I can't keep it to myself. I have to share with you how it's happened in my life. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a little while. So my desired accomplishment is that at the end of this session together with me, that you're encouraged to look into essential oils more for whatever ailments you are experiencing, or your loved ones. There may be people that you know that might really benefit from these as well. And if you have any questions, I said again, put it in the chat box. But if you would like more one-on-one, I'll give you that information at the end of the session. Okay. So what is pain? Okay, so pain is, it can be different for everyone. Everyone experiences it in a different ways in our bodies, and they respond also differently to essential oils. So there's not a one, blanket that's going to help everybody. It's especially with pain and anything that's consistent, we want that magic bullet. But this is experimenting, okay? So you might find that one oil, it helps, but another combination with another oil really helps. And we're going to talk about the blends in a little while as well. So everyone that is, experiences pain in the body also focuses on their emotional, how they're feeling emotionally, how they're feeling, are they sleeping? So it's a whole healthy way of approaching pain and wellness. So you want to look at your sleep. You want to look at your diet, what it is that we're eating, putting into our body, because food can also be medicinal. We're looking at different things like meditation, stretching, deep breathing. Deep breathing is something that really, really helps me with stress and anxiety. And some days, the spiritual pain, the pain of feeling that it doesn't happen for me, nothing is happening right, everything is just, like I don't understand what's going on. And we have some oil combinations that really help you through those days as well. So we're going to talk more about emotional pain, spiritual pain, and physical pain, and how that all works together. Okay. So here's some essential oils for physical pain. There's the Siberian fir. Siberian fir is a tree, of course, and it's very good for pain and inflammation. It's also good if you're tired and aching muscles. It helps those muscles relax. Now, I want to also say, when I'm talking about oils, there's 3 different ways of taking the oils, right? There's also topical, where we put it on top of our skin. Now, sometimes an oil strength is a little bit strong for some people, let's say. So if we're putting it topically on your skin, it's good to try a little at a time, put a little oil, a drop of oil, and mix it with a carrier oil. Now, I use fractionated coconut oil, but I also use jojoba oil, which also is very good for the skin. So be careful with this first time you're going to use your oils, okay? That you make sure that they're not too strong for you, and you want to mix them first. And sometimes you might think, well, maybe I'll just do 1 drop of Siberian fir and then 1 drop of coconut, fractionated coconut oil, and that might be better. Or maybe the strength of Siberian fir is fine, but please make sure if you're using something topical that it's not too strong, that's going to cause irritation on your skin or a reaction. Okay, so Siberian fir is also sourced in Canada and also in Russia. So I'm going to just share with you that the oils can also be used aromatically in a diffuser. So aromatically, if you're just feeling these things, pain, inflammation, tired, aching muscles, after you might want to just put a little drop or 2 in your diffuser and maybe have a lay down for a few minutes. Okay, maybe even longer than a few minutes. But by breathing it in, it also gets into our system. Okay. Lemongrass. Lemongrass helps, and this was very surprising to many people, but because lemongrass is a lovely room fragrance in the room. It clears all that, scent from if you were maybe cooking fish or something, it clears that air up. And that's another thing too, by spraying in the smells that we want and we don't want, because I always thought essential oils were for the beautiful aromas and to smell these beautiful flowers, and to also, I love the scents, but it was also, I used it to cover up scents that I didn't want. Even though I still use it for those reasons, they're also medicinal. And this is where my passion is now coming from, is the medicinal part. So lemongrass is very medicinal as well, and it helps repairs the ligaments, our connective tissue injuries. If we've had an injury where we've torn a ligament, it really helps. It eases joint pain, tendon, and ligament pain. So, for example, if you had an injury, if you were, say, playing tennis and you turned the wrong way and you pulled some connective tissue in your knee, or in my case, I had torn tendons on my shoulders. That really helped me. The lemongrass helped me a lot in that injury. It helped with the pain, actually. It eased it a bit. Okay. Here are two of my very, very favorite oils for physical pain. Copaiba. Copaiba is an oil that is found in South America. It's sap from a tree, that there is so much research being done on it for the pain. It's a powerful anti-inflammatory, and it really helps relieving the pain. Okay. It was tested, and the research showed in this test that they tested CBD oil and copaiba oil. And what they found, that CBD oil is effective. It helps with these same things, inflammation and pain, but copaiba was so much more effective. I don't know the exact percentage, but it was like 1/4 to 3/4 kind of thing. So it was huge, and I had to try this. And copaiba is an oil that can be taken internally. Some people, yeah, some people are a little bit, reluctant about taking oils internally. But I did a lot of research on where I was going to get my oils. And the oils that I decided to take was with a company called doTERRA. And doTERRA is the purest oils that I could find. There's no synthetic, nothing synthetic in there. And they found that you could ingest it. And so that's what I do. In the morning, I take one of these little gel caps of this copaiba, and I take it as a vitamin, as preventative. And I honestly can tell when I missed a week of it. Like I will go a week without it, and I honestly can feel the difference in the inflammation that I feel, because I have rheumatoid arthritis as well. So this is why I'm so passionate about these oils, because they've really helped me with the pain, inflammation, the emotional effect of it all. Frankincense. Frankincense is known the king of oils. Okay, it helps block the pain sensation. It's a great anti-inflammatory. It's also antidepressant. So you see how it goes. This is a great oil for everything, right? It's like one thing. This is why it's called the king of oils. And it's also been helpful in shrinking cysts. Now, I would be very, very, and this is a little bit about pets. If you have pets, cats, dogs, whatever, and you're using your diffuser with oils, be mindful that if you have your pets in the room, they're super sensitive to smell. Like a dog smells more than they think, right? They'll smell first and then they think, kind of thing. So you really want to be very, very gentle with the oils. Like instead of maybe 4 drops, put 1. And what it is also good for is the same things that we take for pain is good for your animals, except very minute dosages. Okay, I had a friend who her dog had cancer, a tumor, and I got her some frankincense, and I said to put a dab of this, just a dab, on a cotton ball, and just if the dog would let her, tap it around this tumor or this cyst. And it completely shrank and went away. And the vet was just amazed that the dog not only got rid of the tumor and the cyst, but was happier and more energetic. So, and all she did was use the frankincense. So this is definitely called the king of oils for no reason, right? It's a good oil, and it's good for so much more than what I'm even sharing with you. I could share so much about all of these oils, but I really am conscious of the time. Other essential oils that are good for physical pain is wintergreen. It's inflammation on the bones and muscles and joints. For somebody who has rheumatoid arthritis, it really affects my bones. And also the joints, it helps. It also helps with if you've got any strains, sprains, anything like that, it's helpful. But do not ingest wintergreen, okay? It's not a good idea to ingest the wintergreen. Camphor. Camphor, as you know, is really good for the bruising. Camphor is if you're very familiar with any homeopathic remedies like arnica, arnica is very similar to camphor, camphor is the essential oil. And it is pain relieving and anti-inflammatory, but it also helps with that bruising feeling. You know, that if you've banged yourself and you've got a bruise, it's very good with that. Peppermint is an anti-inflammatory for damaged tissue. It's also very good for your digestion. If you have an upset stomach, it's really good for that. Blue tansy. Okay, blue tansy is pain relieving and anti-inflammatory. Now you'll see that all of these oils have got the anti-inflammatory and pain relieving. So doTERRA has put together a blend that's called Deep Blue Blend. And this was my introduction to essential oils for pain. I went to have lunch with a friend, gosh, I think it was about 8 years ago now. And I was waiting for surgery on my torn tendon. And I was really in a lot of pain. And she said, oh, and she just pulled out this little tube of, you know, this lotion. And she said, oh, here, you want to try this? And she said, you don't need much, just a little bit. And I put a little bit on my shoulder, and we continued to have our lunch. And I think maybe 10 minutes had gone by. And I said, what was that you gave me? And she told me what it was. And I said, because my shoulder feels better. It feels so much better. Like I don't even feel the pain. And it took care of the inflammation. So that I was hooked at that point. I needed to know more because I had been taking all kinds of medication for the pain, prescribed, even tried some opioids until it was like, no, I don't want any more of those. They were making my tummy sick. And so this a Deep Blue blend got me hooked. So here are some essential oils now for spiritual pain and emotional pain. I'm going to go through the oils, and I also want to, afterwards, I'll share with you some of the other oils that we do for emotional. There's an emotional group that I use when I'm doing my aromatherapy massage. And we'll talk a little bit about that in a while. But lavender helps relieve headaches. It helps relieve burns. I had put my hand in the wood stove to put another log in, and it touched the top of the wood stove. Instantly, I knew to get my lavender. It's got to be in everyone's home. Lavender should be in your first aid kit. I put the lavender on, and There was no blister. It reduced within half an hour. You couldn't even tell I had burnt myself. So lavender is really good for burns. As a matter of fact, it was discovered that it was good for burns by a scientist who was experimenting and looking into lavender oil. And the beaker, I guess, that he was working on broke, and it was hot and he was burnt. But his hands didn't show any sign of the burn because it was filled with lavender, and it just covered him in lavender and took care of the burns. That's how he discovered it was good for burns. So that was a good find. Unfortunately, he broke his beaker, but anyway. It's also a good calming. Lavender is really good for nighttime. My grandmother used to have a little sash of lavender, from the garden. She'd put it underneath her pillow. It also helps indigestion, and it helps when we do sleep. It helps a nice peaceful sleep. Magnolia. Oh gosh, magnolia really surprised me. Magnolia is an amazing oil. It is, I'm going to have to read some of these things to you because it is amazing. I was so surprised. It's good for anxiety, depression, lack of energy. Oh gosh. It's also good for menstrual cramps, PMS, hormonal imbalances, irritability, anger, rage, panic, grief, shock, respiratory, like our sinuses, lymphatic congestion, when we're fighting something off. It's good for the libido, the sex drive. It's great for prostate issues. It's good for stress if we're worried, uptight, tense, lack of ability to receive love. That's the spiritual aspect of it. Weak. It's good for weak heart chakra, so that when we've been hurt, something's happened and we've been really hurt, again, like the grief. Abrasions, it's good for wounds, skin irritations, scars, acne, dry skin, insomnia, and sleep issues. And it's great for perfume as well. So it's good for that smelling good. So I was amazed with magnolia. Magnolia is definitely something that's in my medicine kit, and I use it, I would have to say, at least 3-4 times a week. And for one thing or another, I always remember, oh, the magnolia. And what I do with the oils topically is I always do a few drops on my finger or a roll, and I put it right here behind my ear, in the soft spot here. It's the quickest way to go into the receptors in our brain, right? So it goes into here. And then what I'll do is I'll put a roll on my wrist, and I go like, and I breathe it in. And I breathe it in, and in that big, deep, beautiful breathing, all the way down into your belly and all the way back out. And all of a sudden I realized my shoulders have lowered. I feel great. I'm calmer. It's magical. It's another amazing oil, which I was very surprised about. I knew it smelled good, but I wasn't aware of all the other things that it's good for. Now, sandalwood, there's one from India, and you can get sandalwood also from Hawaii. Now, the reason why I'm mentioning these two is because sandalwood, you think is sandalwood, right? But it can be the same, like thyme, for example, can be thyme is thyme, we think, right? But depending on where the thyme or the sandalwood is grown, it varies in the effects. For example, the sandalwood in India is very calmative. Okay, it's very calming. And it also helps with headaches, indigestion. It's antispasmodic. That was a tongue twister. And it's also really good for coughs and anything bronchial. Okay. Now, sandalwood in Hawaii that grows there, it promotes relaxation. And it's excellent to promote healthy skin. So it's really good in your creams. If you put a couple of drops and put that in your cream, it's so smooth. I often wondered why, when I lived in Hawaii, why the Hawaiian people have such lovely skin. I guess it's the sandalwood. I don't know. Probably their diet is very good too for that. All that seafood that they eat. But same sandalwood, a little bit different, right? Things that they can help you with. Okay. So essential oils for emotional and spiritual pain. Clary sage is calmative, it's antispasmodic, it relieves joint and muscle pain again. A lot of these oils, that's what they do, but they're also connected to other things, right? So rheumatoid arthritis. So clary sage is one of the things that I have all the time, helps relieve menstrual cramping and mood as well. Clary sage is an excellent, excellent oil for menstrual problems or anything around like with women's issues as far as endometriosis or fibroids or anything that you're having trouble with. It really helps that calming in the body and the muscles associated with, so it helps relax so that it's not so tight and tense and painful. Okay. There's also, this is what I was talking about a little while ago, was the emotional blends. There's an emotional blend that I have these all the time in my kit because it really helps with the work that I do with people that are experiencing grief and loss. Okay, these are my go-tos when I am doing the aroma therapy touch, as well as even just sitting and giving support. I might suggest an oil if they would be interested in just putting a little bit on their wrist. One of them is called Console. Console is an amazing oil that really helps with that grief. It helps in the way that it helps people calm, and it allows them to release their grief. In calming, that they're able to cry, whereas quite often people are just shocked, they're hanging on, they don't know what to do. This oil helps them to be calm and to release, and very often tears will come. And I believe that tears are to wash away that pain. They have been invented to wash away any aha moments. We get it. Oh yes, it's clearing, it's clearing. So it's really nice when they can actually feel that release. Peace. Peace is something for somebody that's really hard on themselves, where they're like, oh, I should have done this. I could have done that. Oh, and these are all blends, by the way. And if you're interested in all the oils that these are made of, I'm happy to share that with you, but you got to let me know. Okay. And I'll share that with you, what they're all made of. But the peace, I just love it when things seem to be going, this way and not really connecting, or they always say when, is it Mercury goes retrograde or whatever, I find the peace really helps just smooth out the energies around, just really helps take things into, into a pace where we can deal with it as we go. Cheer, just like what it says. It's one of those happy oils. It's like, I'm just kind of feeling bland today. I'm feeling numb. I want to be happy. It seems like a long time I've been happy, especially with the condition that we're in now in this pandemic where, so many things have changed. We just for a moment want to let go and want to be happy. This is a very cheerful, uplifting. And the biggest thing in cheer is lemon. Let me tell you about lemon. Lemon is an amazing oil that is detoxifying. It's another one of those oils that helps so many things that you should have in your, definitely have in your first aid kit, is lemon. it helps, like 1 drop in water. Well, even lemon, you can squeeze a lemon if you like, but if you don't have a lemon and you got the lemon oil, take a drop of that in your water. Lemon turns into, from acidic, you'd think it would be acidic, it turns into alchemy, into your tummy. It's alkaline, and it really helps balance the acidity in our bodies. Cancer grows in acidic bodies. So lemon is so important to have in your system that really helps the alkaline balance, okay? It's good for bites and stings. So if you go out and you're, bit by mosquitoes and you're stung by a bee, it's really good to get some of this lemon, put it on that. It's also good to be in the lemongrass spray. If you want to make a bite spray, make it with lemongrass and a couple of drops of lemon, okay? And tea tree. Tea tree oil is very good for, well, it's really good to keep the bugs away, actually, is what it does, right? It also helps, tea tree also helps with any fungal or bacteria that's growing in our system. Lemon is good for blood pressure, common colds, concentration. It's good for constipation, depression, digestion, a dry throat. Quite often you'll have a little lemon drop or something for your throat. It's really good for kidney stones. Lately, I don't know what it is. I've known so many people with kidney stones lately. Lymphatic cleansing, that's what I was talking about. It really helps clean out the body. It's good for physical energy, and it's really good to help with stress and varicose veins. So lemon is very powerful essential oil for a lot of things that may cause pain, but that may just be good as a remedy. Okay. Okay, passion. Passion is a lovely, lovely rose blend, and it really helps with, it's not just that romantic love, although that's nice too. It's also just really nice for just love in general. It works, the rose works on the heart chakra, and it really just helps passion. It helps get us that drive back about just feeling connected. Okay, so this passion blend is something that's really nice when you want to go out for an evening and you want to feel good and just let your hair down. Yeah, it's a good one. Motivate. Motivate is something that people who are very down, not even very down, that are down, that are just really finding it difficult to be motivated in their creativity. If you're a writer, if you're a artist of some sort, pottery, and you just don't know what to do anymore, and you're just looking at that empty book and those pens, and you just can't even think to pick it up. Motivate is something that you can get in a roller ball, and it's a good blend, and you again put it behind your ear and on your wrist, and it's really good for just, I don't know why it does that, but it does. And maybe it's because of the actual blend, because there's been a lot of research in combining these oils. There's a reason why they've combined the oils. It's not just that they went, okay, that smells good, but they actually looked into the science and technology of these oils to make this a to motivate you. And I use it when I'm tired, when I'm down and I have brain fog. If I have, that experience when you go into one room and you go, okay, what am I doing here? What did I come for? You know, oh, okay, I'm the only one that ever felt like that. Okay, well, that's what I use it for anyway. But anyway, I use it a lot. Forgive. Forgive is an amazing oil. It is so useful when somebody has passed and somebody is passing. I'm an end of life doula, and I spend a lot of time with people that are on their final legs of their journey. and I spend a lot of time with their family. Now, there's so many times when the person passing will say, I should have, I wish I had a, I bring out the forgive oil because, and I will massage their hands. And what happens, and I'll be talking about the forgiving process as I'm doing this. Now, what happens is the person starts to realize there are no regrets. It happened for a reason. And they still have time to make things right. As same as the family. The family, when they wish, oh, I wish I had it so, well, you can tell mom this now, or you can tell your grandpa this now. This is the time. And this oil really helps with that process because I'm able to use the oil and talk about the forgiveness. So this is the connection between physical, emotional, and spiritual pain that we, at one time or other, always feel in our lives. It's also so important to forgive yourselves. There is no mistake. You have not ever made a mistake. You have only learned lessons. And this is something that we really, truly need to embody. Okay, we're all doing the best that we can. Sometimes when we look back, you know, some of the best laughs I've had at myself is the things that I've done in the past. And I go, what? I did that? Oh my gosh. But I learned something from it, not to do it again. Okay, so I'm not too sure about the time. Sorry.
We're tracking well with time, Louise.
We're what?
It's 3:41 now. We are tracking well with time.
Oh, good, good,
Yeah.
good, good. Okay, so there's a few other things that I wanted to say before I go into the aroma touch. I have also materials that if you're interested in, I can always connect with you if you want to leave your information in the chat box. There's lists and there's books, and I'm going to put them into the resource, Sophia. There are some books that will list different conditions. Like, for example, I've got this list that I use all the time for acne, for allergies, for anxiety, and it goes on, bacterial, blisters, for it, and it tells you not for colds, for coughs, for, you know, if you've got a fever, something to cool you down, for diarrhea, for all different kinds of, if your energy's low, right? There's so many amazing resources out there, and it'll tell you if it's topical, if it's safe to ingest it, if it's aroma, just for the smell, not even to put on the skin, like just for smell. It'll tell you, it could tell you if it's for all of them, whatever. So I'm going to put in the resource lists of different resources that you in our resource on our Heart Center Foundation. So if you go to our Heart Center Foundation website, I will put on, give me a day to do it, I'll put on some more resources so that you can actually look into it. There's no way I could have covered all of this. This is just a little hint and an encouragement, and I hope to accomplish that with you, to be able to turn to essential oils as a complementary to your pain, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. Okay. I also wanted to say, if you are using oils or any herbs or any other supplements, please share with your healthcare providers. Your healthcare provider might not believe in it or might be a little skeptical or whatever, but it is so important that you have at least let them know about it. Because what happened to me one time, I was taking ginseng, okay, for energy. And then I was having all this pain in my chest for whatever reason. And I think it was after the surgery. And I think what ended up being was that I was holding myself because I had to wear a sling for so long. And I had all these pains in my chest. So they decided to do more testing to make sure that there wasn't anything wrong with my heart. And I shared with them a list of all the supplements and oils and medications that I was taking. And when they saw ginseng, they said, "Oh, that's a blood thinner." I didn't realize that. I thought it was just an energy. So please, and this is just a side note, please make a list of all the oils that you're using. Make a list of, whatever it is, even your vitamins. It's so important that your healthcare providers, including your dentists, everybody really gets to know. Okay. It's not that you need to ask their permission, but it may be that you want to ask, is there any conflict in any of it, right? Okay. I have just a few other things here. Another one of the oils I want to talk about is balance. Balance is a blend that I use. And what it does is it actually, and I use it in the morning, and I put a few little drops in my hand. I breathe it in, and then I rub it on the bottom of my feet. I take a few moments to come into the world, because I sleep. When I sleep, I sleep. And so it takes me a little while to come into this way and just to be, and sometimes you have those dreams that really were quite vivid, and I like to write for a little while, but it really helps me transition into the world. Okay. And it really helps me if I'm going to go for, say, to meet somebody for the first time, or if I'm really nervous about something, balance, I put that in my hands, and I put it on my feet, and I breathe it in, and it just calms me down. And it does just that. It makes me feel more balanced. It doesn't make my head go, "Oh, what if this kind of thing that goes on." I know I'm the only one that does that, right? So I know, but I use balance, and if ever it happens to you, it'd be good for you too. I had another oil here too that I thought was really important to use. On Guard. On Guard reminded me of something. On Guard, and oregano, garlic, all of these things to be healthy and out of pain. Okay, there's two different kinds of pain. There's acute pain and there's a chronic pain. Acute pain, you want your first aid there to help you with, the lavender for the burn, the bites, the lemon, those kinds of things you want right there in your toolkit, in your first aid kit. Chronic conditions is something that you might be using for a longer period of time, gradually. Okay, gradually, and it takes time to get into your system. And like the copaiba, I take it every day now, because I know that when I stop taking it, I don't have such a good day, because the winters here are damp, they're cold, and that's not the best thing for somebody with arthritis. So I just want to prepare. And that's what I really want to share with you. In being well, allow the essential oils to be part of your healing practice, okay? A part of taking care of yourselves, or a part of sharing with people, for sure. But also, like I said, the altogether healthy eating, the making sure we sleep, our sleep practice. What do we do when we have bad days? Like really start to put it together. What are we doing for physical fitness, our physical bodies? Not everybody can jog 10 kilometers, right? Or even one, right? Like some people are just not joggers. Some people love yoga, which is great, just to breathe and stretch. I used to teach something called NIA, non-impact aerobics, and it was a combination of dance and yoga and movement. And I would play music and I taught it to people in the wheelchairs. And they would sit in their wheelchairs and they would move whatever they could, or their legs or whatever they could. And they would listen to the music, and their spirits would be lifted. Not only were their spirits lifted, but their muscles actually became more and more stronger. They became stronger. They became stronger physically, emotionally, and spiritually. So you don't even have to do it if we can visualize. So all of that, not just the pain oils, not just the essential oils that are for pain, but please, I hope that you give them a chance, and I hope that you try them more and more into your regime of being healthy. I have healthcare providers now wanting to know more and more about these essential oils and the complementary practices and therapies that I work with, because they're starting to find that their patients are doing better. When we are thinking better, when we are emotionally and spiritually feeling better, our bodies only respond to our thoughts. And one of the things that we do is creative visualization. If we were all to sit and think of a big, juicy lemon, cold lemon out of the fridge, and we were to take that lemon and smell it and squeeze it, and then take a knife and slice that lemon. And then you take that and think about what it'd be like to take a big bite of that juicy lemon. And you drink it and you eat all the pulp and you just eat it up, right? Just sit and think about that for a second. Well, it didn't take me a second, and my mouth is salivating just even talking about it. I love lemons, but there is no lemon. There's only our thoughts. So please, please try these essential oils and try that, find that works for you. Okay. I also want to just share with you that there is many different, back to Heart Center Foundation and Grief and Loss. There are many resources that are coming for you on our website. There's going to be support. We're going to have an ongoing newsletter for you to keep you in touch with upcoming workshops, but what else is happening, and different modalities that might help people with the grief and loss. Our focus is to really make a difference in the world and to really help those that are in that position of pain and suffering. And so stay tuned. I also want to let you know about aroma touch technique. Okay, I spoke about it a little bit in just previously, but aroma touch technique is something that I was certified in, and it's an essential oil application applied to the back and the feet, and also to the hands if the person wants, and it's to create a feeling and overall wellness. Okay, unfortunately, there's not an ability for me to do them in person. There are some families that I'm working with that they're okay with it, and I'm okay with it. And so what we do is this, and it works with the meridians all down the back and the hands. I guarantee there's not been one person that hasn't had this technique, and myself included. When I was trained, I got to be able to experience it, that didn't just feel like there was nothing in the world that could move them. There was nothing that could upset them. It was just like, oh, wow, they felt just great. I felt great. As a matter of fact, I came home and just had the best nap ever. So aroma touch technique is something that if you're interested in knowing more about, I'm happy to share, because there's a whole line of oils that we use. And if you have a loved one, or if your mom or somebody wants to, a little bit of, help with the hand massage or something, that I could do it verbally and over Zoom. Okay, so I'd be happy to do that if you were interested, and I could put that connection into the Heart Center Foundation and into my own website. And this is, so if you want to book an appointment, and the appointments right now are on Zoom with myself, you can email me at medicinebeargardens@gmail.com, and there's my cell number. And for all of you in the US, I guess it'd be better to email me, because it would cost money, I think, long distance. Or do we have, I have an account actually that I can phone the US and Canada for toll-free. But you can also reach me at heartcenterfoundation.ca. Right? Okay. So we have some time now for some questions.
Yes, Louise, there are a few questions in the chat box.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you want to just, read through them?
Okay, I'm just going to go to the top.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Okay, some people are sharing where they're from. Oh my gosh, you're from everywhere. Yes, it's a great time of the year. Winter and the holidays are approaching, and sometimes grandparents and parents do complain about pains during the cold months for sure. Great. And you'll have something to help them with now. Brooklyn, and wow. Okay. Hi, Missy. You're all the way from Maui. Okay. And Talisha, thank you for that. Thank you for your email address, and that's great. Sophia, can I ask a question? Will you be able to save these chats?
Yes, I can.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
Thanks. Wendy asks Siberian fur. What's a type of fur? Siberian. Who can it's a type of fur. There are Douglas fir balsam. Yes, thank you for that. Yes, Wendy, it is a type of fir tree, and it is like what Sophia had put here, that that Douglas fir, cedar, balsam fir, cedar wood is another kind of tree oil that's used.
Louise, is it easy if I go through the questions for you?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, because it may take a while for you to go through all of them. So at one point, Wendy was asking about what area of our body do we apply the oils to?
Oh, okay. Well, it would depend. It would depend, but definitely like what I had said, in behind the ear is good here, but there's other oils, and on your wrist, you can breathe them in, but there's other oils that you can apply in your cold cream or whatever they call that now, different skin creams that you want to put on for dry skin. There's a lot of oils for skin. Let's see if I have some of them. I didn't bring it with me, sorry, but there are a lot of oils that you can use on the skin.
So are you saying that that you can mix the oil into your cream as well and then apply it on your skin?
Yes, and
Okay.
oils, you could use other oils as well, like the fractionated coconut oil, if you have your jojoba oil, or you can go into any pharmacy and just get a bottle of one of the purest oils, and not the food that, not like, I wouldn't use olive oil or anything, but some of the oils that you could use for massage. Put oil, whatever it is that you want for the pain, you can mix it in there, and wherever the pain is, you can put it.
Okay. The next question is from Victoria. I'm not sure if you have addressed the questions. She was asking, are there any of the oils you have discussed not recommended for canines? And are there any that you recommend over others? When you were talking about for canines, right? And she did say that you're addressing it now. So I'm not sure whether it's still, whether there's a further questions to that.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of, and I'll put that in the reference guide, okay? There's a whole book, there's a whole course just on veterinarian oils, like just the oil, even horses and all of that. But I can put a list of dog oils and cat oils for whatever reason, okay? I would only use the ones that are mentioned here. I wouldn't go and use just any oil without looking into it, right? They are so sensitive to oils. Remember, smell is their very number one scent. Scent
Exactly.
is their number one sense.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, the next question is from Talisha. Where would you search for internship and open job positions in this field or any related field?
What would I what? Sorry.
Where would you search for internship and or open job positions in this field or any related fields?
Oh, jobs. Well, internship. Well, I guess where I'm a consultant with doTERRA, and if you become a member of doTERRA, they provide all kinds of programs. I also did another program with another organization, Aroma Head, and became a certified therapist with them. So yeah, there's different places that you can look at. So Aroma Head is the one that I know of, and doTERRA.
Okay, the next question is are there any theories forecasting the future of this field in the next 20, 50 years and the projected growth of this industry? And, basically, is there an opportunity of growth in this field?
Oh my gosh, it's growing like crazy right now. It is growing crazy. Absolutely. All the time. People are wanting everything to change because we've kind of mucked things up with the world, with the climate change and what have you. And so many people are wanting to know, what do they want to get rid of all their household goods, that are filled with the chemicals, and what oils do I use for, washing dishes, washing my laundry, all of this. It is growing crazy.
Exactly. Yeah.
And medicinally as well. Sorry, not
go
just,
ahead.
yeah.
That's right. Yeah. The next question is about the next question is, what kind of research or studies would you like to see more in regards to this field?
What would I like to be?
What kind of research or studies would you like to see more of in terms of aromatherapy or in terms of essential oil?
Yeah, I would really like to see more studies with hands-on, like they're studying the oils and per se how it helps. And they've got their studies to prove the oils work for this. What I personally would like more studies of, like they're doing a lot of research with oils. But what I would like to see more is practical research with people, because like I said, every single person is different. Right? Everybody is different, and how they develop pain, how do they manage their pain, what is the emotions attached to their pain. So I would like to do a study in that sort of thing, like, I haven't figured out how to do it exactly, but by doing, for example, by doing an aroma therapeutic touch treatment, how many people in a period of time, how many people really feel better for it, their health conditions better, that kind of stuff. Yeah, I'd like more research, personal research on the people.
On the people, exactly.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you, Louise. The next thing, Wendy was saying that she would like to know more about the oil blend that you talk about, the balance, the motivation piece and all those things.
Okay, I'm going to put all that in the resource. I'm going to put a little file folder or something like that, and we could put like essential oils resources or something. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. Unless Wendy, unless you have a specific oil that you're interested in, that the oil blend that you're interested in that you would like Louise to expand more, feel free to type it in the chat box.
Yeah.
Okay. The next next questions is, what are some suggestions for professional development courses pertaining to the essential oil? I think you have sort of covered that by joining doTERRA. You were saying you can get some professional development.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And the next question is that, what are any suggestion though in relations to the accredited educations or other types of certifications that's really that will be good in this field? I think you were mentioning about aromatherapy, the course that you did yourself, Louise.
Yeah, aroma head. Yeah, they're
Aroma
very,
head.
very detailed. I was quite surprised that they don't just study the oil. You have to study the plant or the tree or wherever this oil came from. You have to
Mhm.
know a lot of chemistry around it. You have to, really understand, why is it calming? What is the element? What is the terpenes? What is the, and that is really in detail and very professional. I would suggest that whatever course you take, that you research the school that is teaching it, that it's actually been um, backed up by a professional, what's the word I'm looking for? By a professional entity. For example, the school that I studied with is actually backed by, education and, certifications and whatever. I
Yeah.
can't think of the word. Sorry.
It's okay. Yeah. The next thing was just a sharing from Victoria, who said that when her son passed away recently, she used both peace and balance, and they were tremendously helpful.
Oh, I'm so happy to
So,
hear that. I'm so
yeah.
happy that it was helpful, but I'm so sorry to hear of your loss.
Yeah. And okay. The next one, oh, Victoria also say that she used the balance on the back of the neck and bottoms of the feet, and then she used the piece directly over her heart. And she said when it was suggested to her, she thought it was loopy. The person that suggested it was loopy, and she couldn't comprehend how something like that would be helpful. But she learned very quickly that using the oil in those ways really helped her.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so glad it helped you.
Yeah. Okay, the last question is that someone is asking if frankincense can be ingested.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, definitely. Definitely. It is the king of all kings, I tell you.
But
No,
is there a thing as too much though, Louise? Like, is there I guess the dose of how much to be ingested and what's the safe way of ingesting it?
okay. Always, like I said, with any of the oils, start with one drop,
Mm.
one drop,
Mm-hmm.
and make sure before you ingest it, use it topically to make sure that you don't have any sensitivity to it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because if you have any sensitivity to it, it'll show up on your skin. But frankincense is something that I put a drop in underneath my tongue. And, like it can be for whatever reason, but I'll put, and it's so amazing, that oil. It's not called the
Yeah.
king of oils for nothing, I tell you. Like I had a little cyst on my gum, like it was like it was bothering me a lot. I put one little drop in there, and I don't know. Next morning I woke up and it was gone. I was brushing my teeth and nothing hurt. It was like, whoa, something, it was good. I
Mm-hmm.
like frankincense.
Okay, so you can
I guess that's why it was one of the gifts that they brought Jesus.
exactly, and the myrrh and something else. I can't remember the third
Myrrh,
one.
myrrh, by the way, I'm
It's
sorry I
the
didn't mention myrrh. Myrrh
yeah,
is
that's
also
right.
a very good oil for pain.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, yeah. So, and can they ingest the oil using the capsule as well?
Yeah,
There's a they put in the capsule, right? And then they
yeah, you can buy some that are in already in capsules, but
yeah,
you can make your own. And like if you got a
yeah, the
little,
veggie
and you just
capsule
touch it and just put one drop in. But I just do the one drop under my tongue.
because it's quicker that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're saying start with one drop and then they can increase it to a few more
Yeah.
drops?
And give it a chance to work. Like do one drop and
Mm.
then wait.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then if everything's okay and you want to do another one, wait half an hour and then you can do another one.
Mm-hmm.
I had a really sore throat and a bad cough, and
Mm.
I was with friends and we were actually in Salt Lake City and it was dry there, and she said,
Mm.
"Oh, here, put some tea tree on your thumb and put it up against the roof of your mouth, like this."
Uh-huh.
And I thought, oh, because it doesn't taste good, but neither does Buckley's, right? And it
Yeah.
works. So I put a drop on my thumb and I put it up there and I waited a bit and it was okay. And then she said, and if that doesn't work, try it again. And I thought, oh my gosh, just that one worked. Mind you, later in the afternoon, I did another drop because it was, and then by the next day, I did it 3 times on that one day. And by the next day, I had no sore throat and I had found my voice. My voice came back.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was good. Tea tree oil is very, very good.
Mhm.
For, sometimes, you'll get an itch somewhere and it's just like one of those things that, drive you crazy.
Mhm.
Lavender oil, a drop of lavender oil and a drop of tea tree, couple of drops even, and you can put it in your ear. You
Mhm.
can, if you got those itchy ears kind of thing, and you could put that in your ear or wherever.
Mhm. Great. Okay. I have another questions now. Can you recommend any essential oils for nerve damage? Wendy says when she sits down or lay down, her arms and hands fall asleep and go numb. It feels like pins and needles are pulling. Yeah, she feels like pins and needles in the arms and hands.
Okay, so that would be something that you'd need for your circulation. So anything that would bring heat. So peppermint would be something good for that. There's another oil that they've just developed that's good for nerve pain, neuropathy, something that people with diabetes suffer from that helps them. It's called DDR, and it's good for pain, but it's also good for calming. But peppermint would be good. You want, the falling asleep and the pins and needles is because you're not getting the circulation. So you want to do massage and you want to do something that's going to bring heat.
Oh, and Wendy says her doctor says that the nerves may be from the nerves from the neck, from her neck is causing this problem.
Okay, so copabia.
Yeah, so
Okay.
Wendy's asking where should she apply the oil that you are suggesting here?
I would put just copabia and just one little drop of peppermint, and I would rub it in the neck. You want to go to the source, right? You want to go to the source first, and then you want to follow it down. You want to out into your hands and then out into your feet. But go to your source. Like if you do your hands and you're not doing your neck, then it's just going to keep happening. So you want to start with your neck and you want to go down through your arms,
Yeah.
out through your hands, and make sure you get every single finger, right? And don't worry, you won't put too much. You might put too much peppermint though. Peppermint is very hot, like it'll make you hot. But it's interesting because it's also very cooling, because at first you go, oh, that's hot, and then it gets cold.
Yes.
So it's the funniest thing, peppermint. But
yeah, I love peppermint for summertime. It's good in the spray.
Absolutely. Or in a drink.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, exactly. Okay. The next question is that how long does the oil for pain relief or anti-inflammatory last? Do you need to apply it a few times a day?
Yes. Yes. If you're in pain, keep applying. I've had days where I've applied it 3-4 times and don't worry. Sometimes with pain, I'll also mix the oils with aloe vera. Okay. Aloe vera is one of very, very healing for your skin, but it's also got properties that once it's massaged and into your body, it's very healing. So definitely, especially with prickly, especially with nerve, especially with any cysts or anything like that. But that muscle ache, you want that deep blue camphor oil, something. You can also get arnica oil. You can get your oils and drop in a home, your base oils. I mean, like I use
coconut.
Yeah, I use the fractionated coconut oil. And what I do is I'll put a couple of homeopathic remedies in there because I'm also a homeopath. And so I'll put homeopathic remedy. Arnica is excellent. And I'll put it in the oil and I shake it all up. And then I'll put some copaiba and I shake it all up. But the arnica will also help. Arnica is very good for acute injury where you know, you fall and then all of a sudden you're somewhere and you don't want people to notice that you fell. Oh, I'm okay. And you get up and you walk and you're not okay. Like you're just, you're hurting. It's like your first thing is you're in denial, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm good. And you'll see that a lot of time in people when they're in car accidents. They'll get out of the car and they'll walk, and you don't even know how the heck they made it out of the car, let alone walking away. But they'll walk away and then they realize, they get brought to the hospital and they realize that they have fractures and, you know, arnica. Arnica is really good mixed in with your oils.
Perfect. Okay, the next question is Copaiba safe topically for canines?
I would think so, but let me just double check. Oh, what's wrong? I think it is.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it is for sure. You would, if you're gonna, and you'd probably not want to rub it on them because of their fur. You'd probably want to give it on their food. Just one drop on the food.
So don't rub it on their fur.
No, because they'll lick it off.
Yeah. Okay. No problem. Okay. The next question is that my husband has rheumatoid arthritis really bad. He takes ibuprofen and it's not working. What, in your experience, is best to use for rheumatoid arthritis?
Rheumatoid arthritis is, oh gosh, it depends on the day. That's the one thing. This is why I do one-on-one very often with people, is because people will say I have pain. And then when I talk to them more, it gives me a better idea of what oil that would be best. But I'm going to say rheumatoid, because I have rheumatoid arthritis, I would have to say the frankincense and the copaiba and turmeric, actually, if you can get turmeric oil, but try and get the double capsules. Like if you have any questions about doTERRA, I'm happy to just let me know and I could talk to you about doTERRA and you can get it from them. They have a dual capsule, and in the bottom it's like the turmeric, and then on the top it's the active ingredient that really gets it going, because turmeric, you have to have heat with it, and curcumin is the top. So if you're going to do turmeric, like you'd have to eat a lot of turmeric for it to really help. Yeah, but the oil has got a lot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Great. That's the end of the questions I have so far, Louise.
Okay. That's great.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to stop the recording now.
Okay.